Have you ever stopped for a moment and really thought about what happens behind the screen when you tap a button on your banking app? You press transfer, deposit, or pay now, and within seconds the money moves. It feels instant, effortless, almost magical. But behind that simple interaction is an entire hidden digital world, one that most people never see, never think about, and never question. Today, we're going to explore that world, the real engine behind modern finance, the systems, the technology, and the invisible decisions that make digital banking work. By the end of this video, you'll understand your bank on a completely different level. Digital banking didn't take over our lives overnight. It happened step by step, quietly and slowly. First came ATMs, which seemed futuristic at the time. Then debit cards replaced checks. Then online banking arrived. And now, the phone in your pocket is your full-time, 24/7 bank branch. What's interesting is that digital banking has become so normal that most customers don't even think about the shift that happened. Today, digital banking isn't just a feature, it's the foundation. It's the core structure of most major banks around the world. Walk into a physical bank today and compare it to a branch from the early 2000s. You'll notice fewer staff, fewer counters, and less human interaction. That's because people simply don't go anymore. More than half of all banking customers globally use digital channels as their primary way to manage money. Banks are closing physical branches, cutting operational costs, and putting those resources into digital infrastructure, cybersecurity, and artificial intelligence. We have willingly traded face-to-face banking for convenience, speed, and 24/7 access. But with that trade came an entirely new system that most people barely understand. Let's talk about what actually happens when you send money through your app. On your screen, it's simple. Type the amount, tap send, and the transaction is complete. But behind the scenes, it's a complex digital journey. The moment you press send, your request enters the bank's secure network. This network is not the regular internet. It's a protected digital environment built with multiple layers of encryption and authentication. Your identity is verified in milliseconds. The system checks your device, your location, your IP address, and even your usual behavior. Some banks use something called behavioral biometrics, tracking the speed of your typing, the angle of your phone, the pressure of your touch. It sounds strange, but it helps them identify you without you even knowing. After your identity is confirmed, the request moves through several internal systems. Fraud detection algorithms scan the transaction and compare it to millions of patterns. Payment gateways communicate with other banks or partners to move the funds. Clearing systems make sure both sides of the transaction match. Only after this digital process is complete does the confirmation return to your screen. What looks like magic on the surface is actually a highly coordinated system of servers, software, security measures, and artificial intelligence working together at unbelievable speed. Now let's talk about security, because this is one part of digital banking that most people underestimate. When you think of security, you probably think of passwords, PINs, or maybe two-factor authentication. But these are only the outer layers. The real protection happens deeper in the system. Banks use advanced encryption that scrambles your data into unreadable code. Even if someone intercepted firewalls designed to detect and block suspicious activity in real time. They have cybersecurity teams, some of the biggest teams in the corporate world, monitoring systems every hour of the day. And on top of that, there are specialized AI systems constantly learning, analyzing, and adjusting to new threats. There's also something called anomaly detection, where the system flags anything that doesn't fit your usual pattern. For example, if you always use your banking app from your home city, but suddenly log in from another country, the system raises a red flag. If you suddenly make an unusually large transaction at an unusual time, the system double-checks it. These measures are invisible to customers, but they're happening constantly. Digital banking may feel simple on the outside, but the level of security operating underneath is more advanced than almost any other technology you use. But there's another side to this that people don't always think about: data. When you use digital banking, you leave behind a trail: your activity, habits, timing, location, spending patterns, the stores you visit, the bills you pay, the devices you log in from. Every action becomes data. And banks use this data to build detailed profiles of their customers. Not in a creepy way, but in a strategic way. This allows them to personalize offers, predict your spending habits, detect unusual activity, and tailor your experience. Your bank likely knows if you're a frequent traveler, if you eat out often, if you're financially conservative or impulsive, if you prefer savings or investments, and even whether you shop more in the morning or late at night. It's amazing how much they can understand from patterns alone. Now let's explore digital-only banks. These are the new players in the financial world, often called neobanks. You've probably seen them: sleek apps, no branches, quick account creation, and often lower fees than traditional banks. They appeal to younger customers and global users because they're faster and more flexible. Instead of waiting in line, you open an account in minutes. Instead of paper statements, everything is digital. Instead of slow transfers, you get instant notifications and real-time updates. But digital-only banks come with their own risks. They don't have physical locations for support. Sometimes customer service is limited. Some of them have outages more frequently because their systems are new. And depending on the country, not all digital banks follow the same strict regulations as traditional banks. Both types have strengths and weaknesses, and the future will likely combine the best of both worlds. Artificial intelligence is another hidden layer of digital banking that most customers never think about. AI already helps banks make many decisions. It analyzes whether a transaction might be fraudulent. It decides if you qualify for a credit increase. It determines whether you're a safe borrower. It studies your patterns to recommend savings plans or warn you if your spending suddenly changes. In the near future, AI will become even more central. Imagine your banking app acting like a personal financial assistant, automatically helping you budget, warning you before you overspend, suggesting investments tailored to your goals, and helping prevent financial mistakes before they happen. This shift is already starting, and it will change the banking experience entirely. But along with all these benefits come risks. Digital banking is powerful, but it's not perfect. Outages can happen unexpectedly, locking people out of their accounts. Cyber attacks are always a threat, and banks constantly fight to stay ahead of attackers. If you lose your phone, recovering access to your bank can be stressful. Digital data can be stolen or leaked if a company fails to protect it. And there's also the issue of algorithmic bias. If AI systems are trained on biased data, they can accidentally make unfair decisions like denying a loan to someone who deserves it. As technology gets smarter, the need for fair and safe digital systems becomes more important than ever. So what does the future of digital banking look like? We're moving toward a world where passwords disappear, replaced entirely by biometrics like fingerprints, facial recognition, and even voice patterns. International payments will become instant, with no middlemen and no long delays. Banking will become more personalized, with apps adjusting to your habits, goals, and lifestyle. Blockchain technology will make verification more secure and transparent. And banking itself will become invisible, built directly into devices, cars, wearables, and everyday tools. You won't even think about banking. It will happen automatically in the background of your life. So the next time you tap your screen to send money or check your balance, remember that you're interacting with one of the most complex and intelligent systems on the planet. A system built to protect you, analyze you, and evolve with you. Digital banking isn't just the future, it's the hidden engine driving the modern world. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who uses a banking app daily, which is pretty much everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.